Welcome to the story of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, like you've never heard it before.
This story isn't told to you by the one Dragonborn that masters all, but told to you through the eyes of many different characters.
From soldiers in the Civil War seeking peace and order,
to seeking freedom and to remove the weakness from her lands.
From those cursed by the night, seeking to be the vigil in the darkness.
To warriors seeking honor, glory, and companionship.
To a shapeshifter and worshipper of the Daedra who seeks to live a life as a warrior.
To a mage seeking power and the arcane knowledge of Aetherius.
To assassins seeking fear and bringing the cold touch of Sithis.
To thieves seeking wealth beyond measure.
We all hope you enjoy
this story
of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Chapter 46, The Blades. So much had happened to me. On our quest to stop the vampires from darkening the sun forever, I was stopped by a dragon, and when I killed it, something happened. I ended up eating its soul. Then the world around me shook, and a name roared across the sky. The name was Dovahkiin. It was the Greybeards, and they had summoned me. It felt as if all of Skyrim could hear them summon me. Something else called to me to answer their summons, and I turned my back on the Elder Scroll hunt. I made my way up the 7,000 steps and met these Greybeards. They tested me, sending me on a quest to retrieve some horn. But waiting for me were two soldiers from different sides of this civil war. They offered their help, but in truth what they really want is for me to pick a side in their war. I completed their trials, and they crowned me Ysmir, Dragon of the North. I met a woman who had taken the horn before me. Her name was Delphine. She was very mistrusting. She believes the dragons aren't just coming back, but they're coming back to life. And she says I'm the only one that can permanently kill one. And if this is true, then we need to find out. So we're off to Kynesgrove. There she will give me answers to what she wants from me, and to see if these dragons are being brought back from the dead. I feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders now, because I'm the only one that can stop these dragons. If they are coming back to life, and I'm the only one that can kill them, that means I'm the only person standing in the way of them and Skyrim's complete destruction. This battle was decided for me. I joined the fight against the vampires. Instead of leaving Skyrim to their mercy, I decided to pick up the blade and fight back. And now, I'm forced to do the same thing, but this time with dragons. Everyone will look to me to save them from these beasts. And I don't know if I can. Not alone. Not with two soldiers who argue with each other all the time. As we got close, we spotted the very dragon I saw before I had become Dragonborn. But this wasn't the one we were after. We had to go around, but I could feel we were close. I could feel it. And something else. As we got closer to Kynesgrove, it got colder. But I felt something. Like someone was watching me. Kind of like I was being hunted. For the last mile, I felt like I was being stalked. But it wasn't by any dragon. I looked to the skies, but the dragon nearby didn't bother us. Something was out there with its eyes fixed on us, but I couldn't see where. So we just had to proceed on. We were close to Kynesgrove, and the closer I got to that place, the feeling of dread and doom started to rise. Even Centuros and Sigund could feel the fear and the dread. Something was near. Something bad. It was another dragon, but I felt like I had seen this one before. I felt the same fear and loneliness in my dreams. This dragon, this was the one from my dreams. It was him, the black scales, the piercing red eyes. I had seen him fly around a cold world surrounded by the dead around me. Oh no, it's all true. They are coming back to life, and that dragon from my dreams is bringing them back.
You do not even know our tongue, do you? Such arrogance. To dare take for yourself the name of Nova. Salukanir, Kridar Jur.
I couldn't understand dragons, but I knew that he had told that dragon to kill us. This wouldn't just test me, but my companions. This would be their first fight against such creatures. I was about to find out if they truly understood what helping me means. Will they give it all to help me? Or will they cower and die?
It's to be a real fight then.
It was a frost dragon. It played with us by flying around. After thousands of years of sleep, I guess it wanted to battle up close. This dragon will taste Dawnbreaker. Out of nowhere, a goddamn werewolf showed up, striking at the beast with its claws. The werewolf was helping us. I don't care what you are. If you're willing to charge at such a creature and aid us, I will accept you. It takes an extreme amount of bravery and heart to stare into the eyes of a dragon and fight back. Most would freeze with fear upon seeing one, but to charge one and attack, that's the sort of people I'm going to need. We fought our hearts out. We stood there and slashed at the beast. It felt like our weapons did nothing to its scales. But it had made a most foolish mistake by underestimating us and landing. I don't understand these beasts. It could have killed us from the sky with ease. But they want to land and get close. From all directions, we attacked the beast. You could see the blood. The first thing Centauros and Sigun did was slash at its wings. So if we stood a chance of ending this creature, it wouldn't get away from us in the sky. I saw Centauros go down. I couldn't see Sigund. I felt like I couldn't fight on anymore, but I knew I had to. I knew I had to keep fighting. I couldn't give up. I couldn't fail them. But finally, I was able to strike the beast down. In the very last second, something came over me, like a newfound strength. I was able to mount the beast's head and stick Dawnbreaker through its eye, finally killing the beast.
Oh, dang. You did it. Wait, something's happening.
This was my second kill, and the first time my companions saw what happened after. By now, I hope they understand what helping me will take. When I ate this dragon's soul, I felt stronger, like all my strength had restored. I didn't feel tired or wounded. It's all true. I'm the only one who can kill these things. And if this black dragon is bringing them back, I need to be the one to put them back down. If I'm not slaughtered in the process...
I owe you some answers, don't I? I owe you some answers, don't I? Go ahead. Whatever you want to know. Nothing held back. I'm one of the last members of the Blades. A very long time ago, the Blades were dragon slayers, and we served the Dragonborn, the greatest dragon slayer. For the last 200 years since the last Dragonborn Emperor, the Blades have been searching for a purpose. Now that dragons are coming back, our purpose is clear again. We need to stop it. Not a damn thing. I was just as surprised as you to find that big black dragon here. Exactly. Nobody even remembers our name these days. We used to be known across Tamriel as the protectors of the Septim Emperors. Those days are long gone. For the last 200 years, we've been searching for the next Dragonborn to guide and guard, as we are sworn to do. But we never found one until now. The first thing we need to do is figure out who's behind the dragons. The Thalmor are our best lead. If they aren't involved, they'll know who is. Nothing solid, yet. but my gut tells me it can't be anybody else. The Empire had captured Ulfric. The war was basically over. Then a dragon attacks, Ulfric escapes, and the war is back on. And now the dragons are attacking everywhere, indiscriminately. Skyrim is weakened. The Empire is weakened. Who else gains from that but the Thalmor? If we could get into the Thalmor embassy, it's the center of their operations in Skyrim. Problem is, that place is locked up tighter than a miser's purse. They could teach me a few things about paranoia. I'm not sure yet. I have a few ideas, but I'll need some time to pull things together. Meet me back in Riverwood. If I'm not back when you get there, wait for me. I shouldn't be long. Keep an eye on the sky. This is only going to get worse.
I swear I had seen this place in my dreams. I need to find out who that werewolf is and thank them for their help in the fight. Wow, she looked fierce. Thank you for the help. I'm Ragni, by the way.
You're welcome. I had been tracking you since Ivarstead. When I saw you and the two soldiers, I felt very strange and knew I had to see where you guys were going. Then I saw that dragon, and something in the back of my head screamed at me to help.
I knew something was following me. I could feel it. That was you. I'm glad you followed behind us.
I'm Freya, and I'm glad I was of some use, Ragni. I also might know of some others that can help you, who are willing to help you fight these dragons. My mother being one of them, she'll definitely want to take part in this fight. But I'll need some time to gather them. Where do I meet you once I find everyone?
Well, my companions need rest to recover from this fight. So in a few days we should be in Riverwood. If not there, check for me in High Hrothgar. Thank you again, Freya, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. The werewolf that helped me was called Freya. She said that she knew of others that could help me in this fight. I'm glad because we can't do this alone. I need all the help I can get to fight these creatures. If this Freya is like her mother, that's someone I'm going to need. I better get these two into the inn and see to their injuries, and rest up for a few days. We went down to the inn for rest. That fight was their first against a dragon. They need time to recover, time for their wounds to heal, and hopefully some time to get used to each other. Look at that, they're talking. Hopefully some bonding time.
Nice fighting out there. Good to see some of you Imperials can handle yourselves in a fight. Good to see not all of you are total milk drinkers. If we met on the field of battle, you'd actually be a challenge.
Piss off. Just because we fight together doesn't mean we're friends. You're still a traitor at the end of the day. Leave me be, rebel. I'll only tolerate you when we're with the Dragonborn. Other than that, leave me alone. I don't sit with traitors.
Fine. Have it your way, you son of the Thalmor. I tried to be nice, but you Imperials are only good for one thing, and that's fertilizing our lands with your dead. Hopefully one of these dragons will take you out before I have to.
Well, that went as expected. Sigyn was upset, and she wanted to talk to me alone.
Why do we even have him with us? He doesn't care about Skyrim like we do. He's only here to have you join the Empire. This is Skyrim. This is our land. The Empire doesn't care about us. They only want to control us. I should have known better. Those bastards murdered my sister.
I'm sorry about your sister, but if I'm not mistaken, you're here for the very reason he is. To get me to join your side in the war. I need you both. I can't do this alone. I need both of you to get along. Or if you can't do that, stay away from each other. You're both skilled warriors, and I have hope that with both of your help, I can get through whatever it is I need to. I don't know how to deal with any of this. I didn't have a choice about any of this. What I need is people who can help me, not enemies.
You're right, Dragonborn. We both need you to stop these dragons. Until then, I'll do my best not to stick my blade into the Imperial.
I managed to talk Sigyn out of losing her battle with killing Centuros. These two are very skilled and brave soldiers, but they're both so painful to be around sometimes. I fear they'll kill each other before the dragons do. We rested for 2 nights. It was bitter and filled with silence. They stayed away from each other. I stayed away from both of them also. It was painful seeing the two fight all the time. I was excited to get out of there. They don't seem to fight and argue that much while on the roads. It could be the fresh air, or the traveling keeps their minds busy and prevents them from making each other angry. They almost seem to have the same mind when on the roads. They seem to fight well together when we're attacked, or they both protect each other from their own troops who approach with weapons drawn. We made it into Riverwood without incident. I love the feel of this place during the spring. It's such a beautiful place. The trees, the river, and the little lumber mill town in the middle of it all. The sounds of the rain hitting the water, the frogs croaking, and the smell of the rain. It's such a beautiful place. I hope it remains untouched by the war and the dragons. Hopefully Delphine has a plan by now to get me into this Thalmor embassy, so I can find out if they're responsible for the dragons returning. By now, I trusted both of them more after what they went through with me. I considered them my team. They should know anything I have to. If there's a plan to get me into the Thalmor embassy, they should know it too. I trust them with my life, just not with each other's.
I figured out how we're going to get you into the Thalmor embassy. That would be a bad idea. I'd be too likely to attract the wrong kind of attention. But they don't know you at all yet. The Thalmor ambassador, Elenwen, regularly throws parties where the rich and connected cozy up to the Thalmor. I can get you into one of those parties. Once you're inside the embassy, you can get away and find Elenwen's secret files. I have a contact inside the embassy. He's not up for this kind of high-risk mission, but he can help you. His name is Malborn. Wood Elf. Plenty of reason to hate the Thalmor. You can trust him. I'll get word for him to meet you in Solitude at the Winking Skeever. You know it? While you're doing that, I'll work on getting you an invitation to Elenwen's little party. Meet me at the Solitude stables after you've arranged things with Malborn. Any questions? Don't worry about Malborn. He's not a dangerous character like you. But he hates the Thalmor at least as much as I do. He's a wood elf. The Thalmor wiped out his family back in Valenwood during one of their purges that we never hear about. Luckily, they don't know who he really is, or he wouldn't be serving drinks at the ambassador's parties. Sounds good. Be careful.
After Delphine told us how she's going to get me into the Thalmor embassy, both Sigan and Centauros wanted to have a word with me. It looked urgent.
Look, Dragonborn, I can't follow you on this one. Me and this imp get along because of you. But if I walk myself into Solitude, the Empire will kill me, regardless if the Imperial would vouch for me. So I can't follow you.
She's right. None of us are here officially. Out on the roads we can stop our troops, but the other side won't allow us into their capitals. And even I can't help you with this one. You're messing around with the Thalmor. If I'm seen with you, it puts the Empire in a dangerous spot. The less I know, the better. I hate to agree with the rebel, but both of us can't help you. Either I aid in an espionage against the Thalmor, or...
I walk into Solitude filled with Imperial arrows. I don't mind dying to Imperials, or even dragons. But I'm not a fan of walking into death's embrace.
I understand. There's too much political risk for both of you. Both of you should stay here and wait for me to return. Remember, this is Stormcloak territory, so I need you to protect him, Sigund. Don't let your men attack him. If they do, I expect you to protect him, as I would expect the same from Centauros. So that's that. You two will wait here. I should be back within a few days. Please, for the love of the Nine, don't kill each other. And if Freya turns up here, tell her what I'm doing. I trust her. And seeing how she's got no stake in this civil war, she could be of help. I'll see you two soon. Promise me you will look out for each other.
I promise, my word is my honor.
I too promise by the Nine that we won't kill each other.
I was all on my own. I had to infiltrate a Thalmor party all by myself. My companions could not aid me because of their allegiances to the Civil War. All of Skyrim knows of the Dragonborn's return. All of Skyrim would have heard the Greybeards scream my name across the skies. But it's still too early for anybody to know exactly who I am just yet. People know who I am as soon as they see me with an Imperial and Stormcloak. Rumors all around Skyrim talk of a woman who's followed by a Stormcloak and Imperial trying to gain her to their side. So I can't afford to be spotted as the Dragonborn. The only thing giving me away is my eyes. But thankfully, nobody knows about that just yet. So on my own, I should be able to travel without being spotted as the Dragonborn. And I should be able to get into this party without being made. There, I'll be able to find out if the Thalmor are behind the dragon's return. I just hope I can do this. If the Thalmor get me, I'm in some serious trouble. If they catch me trying to gather information on them, they will treat me like the poor souls they capture for Talos worship. Skyrim is such a beautiful place. If I manage to live past all this, I just want to settle down and own my own farm and live the peaceful life. It feels like I've already lived 5 lifetimes now with all the stuff that's happened to me.
Come on now, we discussed that. I wouldn't be traveling all of Skyrim. It'd just be to Whiterun and back, that's it.
Tomorrow. I'll let you know tomorrow.
I arrived late in the afternoon. No matter how many times I see or come by here, the sight of solitude is such a beautiful thing. It feels like I walked across this bridge yesterday as a normal person wishing to become a bard, so I could travel the world and sell my music across Tamriel. I guess this bridge is where my story really started, where my life would change forever. I look back and just wish I could have that simple life again, as an explorer, with no responsibility to save the world, just the choice to explore and take my own path. When I was riding to Solitude, Celaya came racing past me. She's still alive. I couldn't tell her it was me, but now Serana would have told them what happened to me, and I can't have anybody knowing who or what I am. I'm glad she's still alive and keeping up the fight against the vampires. The Lady of Light. I might not have believed in her, but I know she watches over me and protects me with her blade. I arrived in Solitude with only an hour of sunlight left. I think this party would be starting already. I need to find this wood elf called Melbourne and get ready for this party. Solitude, a truly beautiful city. It's a pity this is where the Civil War started when Ulfric killed the High King. It might have been an accepted challenge, but all the death and chaos it's brought. And it still burns over Skyrim while vampires and dragons prey on those caught in the middle of this war. And now both sides of this war vie for my friendship in helping end it. The fools think I can just end their war. I'm not Talos. I can't conquer the world. Now I need to find a wood elf. Shouldn't be too hard in Skyrim since they're rare. I might find this elf hidden away in the corner.
Ulfric, the man is a lie. All he holds in his heart is lust for the throne.
That looks like a wood elf. That must be Delphine's contact.
What do you need? Really? You're who she picked? I hope she knows what she's doing. Here's the deal. I can smuggle some equipment into the embassy for you. Don't plan on bringing anything else in with you. The Thalmor takes security very seriously. Give me what you can't live without, and I'll make sure to get it into the embassy. The rest is up to you.
I had nothing but some potions I had to give him. It was now time to meet Delphine back at the stables and head off to this party. Sometimes I miss being a bard. When I hear that music, I feel like I still have that dream of traveling the world.
Have you given Malborn the gear you want to smuggle into the embassy? Good. I have your invitation to the party. But the only way you're going to get past the guards is if they really believe you're an invited guest. Which means you need to look the part and not be armed to the teeth. Here, put this on. When you're ready, I'll keep the rest of your gear safe until you get back.
It took me another hour to get ready for this party. Delphine did my hair and makeup. I feel so weird. I've never worn makeup before.
Just make sure you get back out of there alive with the information we need. Good luck.
I finally arrived. I was quite late, but I was here.
Welcome to the Thalmor Embassy. Your invitation, please. Thank you, ma'am. Go right in.
Thankfully, they accepted this invitation.
Here's my invitation.
Now I can get into this party and see what I can find. It's weird. I'm more scared of being here than having a dragon try and kill me. This is the last place any Nord who worships Talos wants to be right now. But I need to find out if the Thalmor are behind the dragon's return, or if they know of who is.
Welcome. I don't believe we've met. I am Elenwen, the Thalmor ambassador to Skyrim. And you are? Don't worry. My parties are always well stocked with the finest food and drink available in this country. But first, you were introducing yourself. Please, tell me more about yourself. What brings you to this... to Skyrim? What is it, Malborn?
As soon as I entered, I was introduced to the host of the party, the Thalmor's leader here in Skyrim. Thankfully, Malborn saved me from further questioning. I better get in here and mingle, look like I belong. There's so many important people here. Good chance to meet the higher-ups in this land. That must be the Imperial General, the one who Centuros serves. No doubt the one who sent him after me. Is that Idgrod? She's the only one here I know. She'll know me. When I saved Morthal from a vampire takeover.
I'm not sure that it's news, but lately it seems like every blacksmith in Skyrim is out to prove that he's the equal of Yorlin Greymane. It's not really a fair comparison if you ask me. After all, Yorlin works the Skyforge. How is any smith going to compete with that? Now, here's a face I did not expect to see. Be mindful, for you walk among adders.
I have no complaints.
Splendid. Call if you have need of me.
Fair faces and fine food are well and good, but honesty is rarely so pleasing. There are words spoken and words unspoken. Beware these Thalmor, for they are adept in both languages. For this reason, I avoid them when I can. May wisdom light your path.
No, I'm sorry, but I can't go anywhere with you. I won't. Please, I must get back to my duties.
Don't you dare walk away from me, you slut! Do you know who I am?
Please, sir, leave me alone.
Now you're going to be sorry you crossed me. Elenwen, this servant girl has been throwing herself at me in a most disgusting manner.
Is that so, Erica? And you with such delicate sensibilities? It must have been most upsetting.
I demand that you have this wench removed from my presence at once.
Well, whatever the truth of it, I'm sure a few words with Master Relindel will have a salutary effect. Take her downstairs.
Yes, Madam Ambassador.
Mistress Elenwen, it's not true. I did nothing. Sir, you must tell her. You don't know what they'll do to me. Please.
The man was a spineless toad. There are Thalmor here with more honor than him. If this wasn't a party and I didn't have to keep my head down, I'd take his off.
What can I get for you, ma'am? Of course. Let me see if we have another bottle of that. I'll be waiting by the door for everyone to be distracted.
I needed everyone to be distracted so I could slip out of this party. I should have made my move with that Eriker. I might try Idgrod. She will be able to help me.
There are words spoken and words unspoken. Beware these Thalmor, for they are adept in both languages. My ears are always open to a friend's request. Nothing would please me more. I'll keep their eyes away while you do what you came here for. An old woman can get away with almost anything. No harm is meant to you, happy fool. Right here. I see it in your face. The snakes writhe behind your eyes. Get away! Get away from me!
Did you say snakes?
Let's go. Where? Let's go. Before anyone notices us.
Be gone from this
What,
house
are they
and
on me?
trouble it no more. Beware of the serpent in your midst. Beware, O people of Skyrim.
Did you see those robes
You're on your own
this
now.
morning? Who are they with? More of the emissaries treaty enforcers? No, they're high mages, just in from Alinor. I guess herself is finally getting worried about all the dragon attacks. Ah, good. I've been wondering how we were supposed to defend this place from a dragon. If a dragon does show up, maybe we'll get lucky, and it will eat the mages first. Might give us enough time to kill it. Ha! I'd like to see those arrogant bastards taken down a notch.
Now this is where the hard work happens. If the Thalmor catch me hiding around their base, they will surely kill me. I need to look around for a uniform. Hopefully I will pass for a high elf. I'm not as tall as these elves, but I'll just have to keep my head down. My orange eyes could help me here. I could look like a half-breed. They might truly believe I'm one of them. The night was so beautiful. I only wish that I wasn't in such a dangerous spot. There we go. That has to be where I'll find out the information I need to uncover about these dragons. Damn it. One of these elves is guarding the door. If I kill him, I'll have the entire place on lockdown and after me. I'll try the peaceful way first.
Why aren't you at your post, Justiciar? Why didn't you say so? Take over my post. Make sure nobody enters the Solar.
I can't believe that worked. But when he finds out I was lying, things are going to get crazy quick.
Do not presume, Gisser. You are most useful, but do not presume. We have other informants who are less offensive.
But no one else has brought you such valuable information, have they? Etienne, he's talked, hasn't he? He knows where that old man is you're looking for. He told me himself.
You'll get the rest of your money when we confirm his story, as agreed.
So he has talked. I knew it.
Everyone talks, in the end. Now, I have work to do. Leave me to it if ever you want to see the rest of your payment.
Can I could help you. He talked to me. He trusts me.
You'd like to come downstairs with me, is that it, Gisser? Shall we loose his bonds and put you in a cell together? You can ask him anything you like and see how he answers.
No, I'll wait outside.
That would probably be best. Now, get out.
Rollendale. One day the shoe will be on the other foot.
I can't believe a Nord would help these elves. The Justiciars are the worst kind of elves. I need to find this information quickly. There's nothing there. Maybe they might have them locked away somewhere. This looks like something. Look at that! There are 2 other books on Ulfric Stormcloak and Delphine. It looks like the Thalmor aren't responsible for the dragon's return, but they are also after answers. They seem to have somewhere with leads on where to look next. It looks like the Thalmor aren't responsible for the dragon's return, but they are also after answers. They seem to have a lead on where to look next. They have someone here who knows more. I better go and find them.
Stop, please. I don't know anything else. Don't you think I'd have told you already?
Silence. You know the rules. Do not speak unless spoken to. Master Rollindil will ask the questions. Let's begin again.
No.
It seems like this man being tortured by these animals knows something. I'll need to remove these elves. I didn't want to kill anybody, but these ones deserve it.
As usual.
Why wouldn't I tell you again? I don't even know anything. There's an old man. He lives in Riften. He could be this Esbern you're looking for, but I don't know. He's old and seemed kind of crazy. That's all I know.
And his name is?
I don't know his name. Like I've already told you 100.
They're after someone called Esbern in Riften? I can't let this continue. These Thalmor are monsters.
Where can we find that will be all for now. I must say I continue to be disappointed in your lack of cooperation. I hope next time you will do better.
What else do you want from me? I've already done everything. Listen, if you let me go, I can take you to Riften, show you where... I told you, I don't know anything else about it. What? Who? What do you want then? Yeah, sure. Okay. Come on, this way. I've seen the guards use it to get rid of bodies. It must lead somewhere. No problem. Thanks for springing me. I owe you. Look me up in Riften if you make it out.
They're looking for an old blade called Esbern. He used to be a librarian or something for these blades. They want him caught alive. He knows something about these dragons and could know why they have returned. From what I overheard, he's hiding in Riften. That's where I need to go.
Listen up, spy.
Damn it, they're onto me. They have Malborn. I've already killed their people. I won't leave Malborn to these monsters. We escaped out of the tunnel where they removed their dead. It seems like they feed all the poor souls they bring here to the troll. When I finally got out, I decided to read this dossier on Ulfric. What I read was quite troubling. Ulfric Stormcloak was, or is, an asset to the Aldmeri Dominion. During the war, he was captured by the Aldmeri, and he gave in to their torture. He believes he gave in and betrayed everyone. What worries me the most is that he was let to escape, and contact was made with him, and he became an asset to the Aldmeri. They must have let him go after his imprisonment as one of their spies. By the looks of it, he broke off and went his own way, but still ended up doing something useful for the Dominion by starting a war with the Empire. The elves want this war. They want the Empire weakened and distracted. This information could change the war if it got out. I will keep this to myself. I can't afford Sigan knowing about this or Centauros. I can't afford them to go to war with each other. By oblivion, if this got out, it could possibly end the war. But if it does get out, the two soldiers I need the most will kill each other, since I fear this will only help the Imperials out. There's Freya. She's back. Good. I'll need her if I'm going to Riften. Time to gather everyone and tell them what I've found out. Then we'll discuss what we do next. Most likely a trip to Riften.
Stay alert. Never know when those Stormcloak dogs might charge. Great, let's go.
You made it out alive, at least. Your gear's safe in my room, as promised. Did you learn anything useful? Really? That seems hard to believe. You're sure about that? You're right, you're right. I was sure it must have been them. If not the Thalmor, who? Or what? Esbern? He's alive? I thought the Thalmor must have got him years ago. That crazy old man. Figures the Thalmor would be on his trail, though, if they were trying to find out what's going on with the dragons. You mean aside from wanting to kill every blade they can lay their hands on? Esbern was one of the Blade's archivists, back before the Thalmor smashed us during the Great War. He knew everything about the ancient dragon lore of the Blades. Obsessed with it, really. Nobody paid much attention back then. I guess he wasn't as crazy as we all thought. Riften, eh? Probably down in the Ratway, then. It's where I'd go. You'd better get to Riften. Ask around the Ragged Flagon in the Ratway. It's at least a good starting point. Oh, and when you find Esbern, if you think I'm paranoid, you may have some trouble getting him to trust you. Just ask him where he was on the 30th of Frostfall. You'll know what it means.
We were off to Riften. Gods, I was so tired. So I decided we'd walk to Whiterun and hire a carriage for the trip. There I could get a few hours of sleep before whatever madness we found in Riften trying to find this Esbern. Esbern was a lore master of the dragons. If anybody in Tamriel knows anything about dragons and that black one bringing back the others, it has to be him. We have to find him before the Thalmor do, or all might be lost. So we have to hurry because the Thalmor know that he's hiding in the Ratway. That man they were torturing had already told them. We needed to beat the elves in finding Esbern.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off.
We arrived late in the afternoon. I got some much-needed rest. When we arrived, it seemed like the Imperials now had control of Riften. Days ago, it was the Stormcloaks. This won't help us at all. If the Imperials have Riften, that means the Thalmor have easy access to the Ratway. We need to hurry. I swear this place is cursed. The smell of the place is enough to make a Daedra shed tears, and it's either raining or foggy. The Rift is a beautiful place, but Riften does this place a disservice. It stinks. It looks miserable, and it's filled with thieves. And where we're going, it's going to be full of them. The Thieves' Guild has risen to power again, and has their slimy fingers in all the holds of Skyrim. We're going into their home, the Den of Thieves. Hopefully, my companions will ward off any that seek to bring me harm. The smell got even worse down here. I've been told this is the place you go if you want something done that doesn't abide by the law, that this is the bar of the Thieves' Guild. These lowlifes should know where this Esbern is hiding. I have another strange feeling, like the ones I have with people.
Fight or die well.
Wait, that man. I saw him in the Thalmor embassy. He's their informant. Damn it. That means the Thalmor are already here or on their way. I need to hurry.
It's one thing to say you've got the skills to be a thief. It's another to actually use them.
Still saw where I took that arrow. I hate archers.
Lot of people looking.
I had to throw over a bag of gold to get the bartender to talk, but he said Esbern lives in the Ratway, deep into the sewers. He warned me it's full of all sorts of unpleasant things. It's nothing we can't handle. He also mentioned that others were here looking for him, be it the damn Thalmor.
What in oblivion is going on here? The Thalmor rock up demanding answers. Now a Dawnguard hunter with an Imperial and a Stormcloak. Wait up. Was that the Dragonborn? I need to find out what's going on here and why the Dragonborn is here. If rumors have it that this person can kill dragons, that's someone we need. Dragons aren't any good for business.
Hardly ever leaves the place. Has someone bring him food and such. Crazy old coot from what I've heard. For that to stand out down here, he must really be off his nut.
If the Thalmor and the Dragonborn are after the same guy, that means the Thalmor are going to try and stop the Dragonborn. Might be time to suit up.
As soon as we entered the rat pit, the smell of rotted corpses filled the air. The Thalmor were down here too. We had to cut through them and the corpses. This is the last thing Father would want me doing. He left his home to escape the Thalmor, to get the woman he loved out of their reach. And now their daughter is going to war with them. After cutting down all the dead in Thalmor, we found the place where this Esbern would be hiding out. We'd have to have a look around. The bartender said there were others here, some deranged and gone mad.
He explained it all to me, before when I still understood. I don't remember, but I still know. It's hopeless, he told me. He's right, you know.
An old Imperial by the looks of it. He doesn't seem right. This isn't Esbern. He looks too young, and Esbern's a Nord.
And the dying. I had a medal. It had someone's face on it. I threw it away after. It didn't help.
No, never find me.
Their fires lit up the night, all across Lake Rumer, like stars come to Earth. It was beautiful, really.
Dragonborn, this isn't our guy by the sounds of it. He's a great war vet. Looks like the war took a toll on his mind. He came here and just melted into his memories. From whatever he's blabbering about, he's talking about the battle for the Imperial city. We won't get anything out of this one. We best move on.
My mother and father fought in that war. Once the three of them were brothers and sisters in arms. We should probably put this poor bastard down. The man's living his nightmares daily. It would be the kinder thing to do.
No, we will not be murdering anybody, Freya. Regardless of how damaged their minds are, we need to keep looking around.
He told me. He's right, you know.
Bucket, knife, book, inkpot, stone. No, no, no.
The door was locked, but the person behind this door was a woman. And she too sounded like she has lost her mind. This wasn't Esbern. And I hope this Esbern isn't like these people. We need his mind intact.
Inkpot, stone, bucket, book, knife.
We found another room, but the door was opened and the room covered in blood. Nobody was here, and the place smelled of rotting meat. This wasn't our guy.
Yes. Bucket? Yes. Inkpot? No.
That had to be our guy's room. That door looks like it's made to house a vault of gold. Only someone being hunted by the Thalmor would have a locked door of that security.
Go away! What? No, that's not me. I'm not Esbern. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, how reassuring. Most likely you're with the Thalmor, and this is just a trick to get me to open the door, huh?
I'm still sore where I took that arrow. I hate
And no
archers.
doubt you are one of them, huh? Leave me alone.
Damn it, what did Delphine tell me to tell him? Something about Frostfall. Ah, yes. That should gain his trust.
I told you to go away. I'm not opening this door for anybody. Ah, indeed. Indeed. I do remember. Delphine really is alive, then? You'd better come in, then, and tell me how you found me, and what you want.
Well, that seemed to have worked. He seems very paranoid, but I guess that's to be expected. At least his mind is still intact.
There we go. Only a couple more. There we are. Come in, come in. Make yourself at home. So, Delphine keeps up the fight after all these years. I thought she'd have realized it's hopeless by now. I tried to tell her years ago. Yes, so you said. But so what? The end is upon us. I may as well die here as anywhere else. I'm tired of running. Haven't you figured it out yet? What more needs to happen before you all wake up and see what's going on? Alduin has returned, just like the prophecy said. The dragon from the dawn of time who devours the souls of the dead. No one can escape his hunger, here or in the afterlife. Alduin will devour all things, and the world will end. Nothing can stop it. I tried to tell them. They wouldn't listen. Fools. It's all come true. All I could do was watch our doom approach.
Alduin. That's the Black Dragon bringing back the others. By the gods. That's the very dragon ancient Nords worshipped as their god.
Yes. You see, you know, but you refuse to understand. Oh yes, it's all been foretold. The end has begun. Alduin has returned. Only a Dragonborn can stop him. But no Dragonborn has been known for centuries. It seems that the gods have grown tired of us. They've left us to our fate as the plaything of Alduin the World Eater. What? You are... Can it really be true? Dragonborn? Then there is hope. The gods have not abandoned us. We must go. Quickly now. Take me to Delphine. We have much to discuss. Give me just a moment. I must gather a few things.
This is why I'm Dragonborn. This is why I was summoned at this time. But what chance do I have fighting a literal god? Why me? If I don't do this, all of Tamriel burns. This is far worse than the darkening of the sun.
One moment. I know time is...
I'm the only one that can stop these dragons. It's all on me. If I die, so does all of Tamriel. By the gods, I feel so much more heavier.
That's good enough. Let's be off.
Just as we were leaving, the Thalmor had caught up to us. Damn it. We have to fight our way back out of here. What was that? There's someone else here? After all the Thalmor were killed, I found the body of that informant. He had a letter on him. What I really wanted to know is, where did that arrow come from? Who shot that Thalmor archer? That shot came from up here, but there's nobody around. It's as quiet as the grave up here. I swear to Talos I saw an arrow hit that Thalmor, and none of us are archers. And I got another one of those weird feelings like I'm being watched, that someone is near. But then again, I have 3 with me already that I have felt strange feelings for.
Damn Stormcloaks. This city is crawling with Imperial Legion, and you know what? I'm still nervous.
Hello there, Dragonborn.
By the gods, what in oblivion? Out of nowhere, this woman in black armor came out right beside me. I couldn't even hear her approach me, and the place was as silent as death. How in oblivion did she do that? She said she meant me no harm. She must have been the one that ambushed the Thalmor. She wanted to talk, but only once we were out of the Ratway. Just as we were about to leave, she told me this would be a good place to talk. I had wondered why she had helped me, even more in a place that requires gold for one's help. Thanks for the help with the Thalmor down there. But what I really want to know is, who are you, and why did you help us?
Well, it looked like you needed help, and rumor has it that the Dragonborn is traveling with 2 soldiers from different sides of the wars, and that you can kill dragons. And dragons aren't good for anybody, especially me. You can call me the Nightingale.
The Nightingale? What's your real name? Why won't you show me your face?
I conceal my true identity for security reasons, Dragonborn. Maybe one day I'll tell you who I am. But for now, I'll be your Nightingale. And I'm willing to join this merry band you have here to help you stop these dragons before they burn down everything around us.
How can I trust you? You hide who you are behind a mask.
You don't have to trust me, but I'm willing to help you with these dragons. God knows you need the help. It doesn't look like you have much in support to start with.
Fine. I accept your aid, but don't make me regret this. If any harm comes to the others because of your actions, I will end you.
Don't be cute, Dragonborn. You wouldn't even see me coming. Now, to the business at hand. You will have my shadows and arrows at your command when you need them. Let's hit the road.
When we finally got outside, it was pitch black. We decided to stay the night in the inn and gather what rest we could. Then tomorrow, we head back to Riverwood. When I got our rooms sorted, my Civil War companions wanted to talk to me about our new member. They looked like they had issues with me taking her on.
Are you sure about this, Dragonborn? She gives me the chills. She's the sneaky, untrustworthy sort. But there's something familiar about her. Like I know her. Just some odd feeling in the back of my head.
The Imperial's right, Dragonborn. We shouldn't have her here. We can't trust her.
I understand, but she helped us without being asked, like Freya did. And you both accepted her pretty quickly. We need all the people we can get. Anybody willing to face down a dragon is someone we need. She was able to sneak up right beside us without being heard. We need her.
Well, Freya was honest about who and what she was. She hid nothing from the start. She was a little too honest.
Plus, Freya's a werewolf. Her claws are more useful to us than this so-called nightingale over there.
The only reason we killed that dragon is because it landed. They're going to stop doing that. And when they do, we need people like her, archers and mages that can bring them to the ground. We won't know until she faces one down. So let's give her a chance and see how it goes. She could be of great use in killing dragons or saving our lives. I don't trust her, but for some reason I have a good feeling about this one. I heard them out, but I had the last say. Sooner or later, the dragons are going to catch on that landing is a bad idea. I'm going to need her skills. If she's as good of a shot as she says she is, maybe she can shoot one of those dragons in the eye. We got what rest we could for a couple of hours. The Thalmor wouldn't dare attack us in public, but as soon as the sun started to rise, it was time to leave.
Imperial dogs. There is nothing that's too low for them.
Damn rebels.
Why, it's good to see you. It's been a long time.
It's good to see you too.
I'm all for
Esbern.
diplomacy.
It's been too long, old friend. Too long. Well, then. You made it safe and sound. Good. Come on, I have a place we can talk. Orgnar, hold down the bar for a minute, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Now then, I assume you know about...
Oh yes, Dragonborn. Indeed, yes. Oh, this changes everything, of course. There's no time to lose. We must locate. Let me show you. I know I had it here somewhere.
Esbern, what?
Give me just a moment. You see, right here, Skyhaven Temple. Constructed around one of the main Akaviri military camps in the Reach during their conquest of Skyrim.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Shh! This is where they built Aldrin's Wall, to set down in stone all their accumulated dragon lore. A hedge against the forgetfulness of centuries. A wise and foresighted policy, in the event. Despite the far-reaching fame of Aldrin's Wall at the time, one of the wonders of the ancient world, its location was lost.
Esbern, what are you getting at?
You mean, you don't mean to say you haven't heard of Aldrin's Wall? Either of you?
Let's pretend we haven't. What's Alduin's Wall, and what does it have to do with stopping the dragons?
Aldrin's Wall was where the ancient blades recorded all they knew of Aldrin and his return. Part history, part prophecy. His location has been lost for centuries, but I've found it again. Not lost, you see, just forgotten. The Blade's archives held so many secrets. I was only able to save a few scraps.
So you think that Alduin's Wall will tell us how to defeat Alduin?
Well, yes, but there's no guarantee, of course.
Skyhaven Temple it is, then. I knew you'd have something for us, Esbern. I know the area of the Reach that Esbern's talking about, near what's now known as Karthspire, in the Karth River Canyon. We can meet you there, or all travel together. Your call. From Riverwood, the road south through Falkreath is the most direct route. Or you could catch the carriage from Whiterun to Markarth, and then approach from the west. Either way, the Reach is wild country these days. The Forsworn are everywhere. Best be careful. Your call. Might be safer to travel separately. Attract less attention that way. Don't worry, I'll get Esbern there in one piece. We'll wait for you near Karthspire. Good luck.
We were to set off shortly, but first I had Centauros get some supplies for the trip into the Reach. It's a dangerous place with all the Forsworn. We need to be prepared. So I read up on this old Dragon Guard annal to make sure I knew what we were stepping into. It was then I felt a familiar presence, and I heard running towards me. It was Freya. She wanted to tell me something.
Ragni, I have some good news. My mother is here and she wishes to meet you. She's just upstairs. Do you want me to bring her down here?
Of course, bring her down. I'd like to meet her. I'll wait down here for her. Freya's mother had finally arrived. If her mother is anything like her, I feel sorry for any dragon that decides to attack us. Wait, this is your mother? I can't believe it.
You'd better. This is the woman who raised and trained me. Her name is Cecilia.
We've actually already met. Many months ago, I helped this one kill some vampires. When Freya told me your name, I couldn't believe it.
You remember me? Well, I remember you, Cecilia. Or should I call you the Dark Knight? The vampire who has traveled Skyrim for centuries hunting and killing criminals. I know who you are and what you are, Cecilia. And you knew of my hatred for your kind before you even walked down those stairs. I wear the very armor of the people who have dedicated their lives to hunting your kind down.
If you attack her, you better be ready to deal with me. This vampire saved my life and trained me to be strong. Dragonborn or not, if you raise a blade against her, I will end you.
You better believe I will deal with you. You didn't tell me who your mother was. You kept that from me.
Of course I kept that from you. I saw that armor on you. Do you think I'm going to just tell a hunter that my mother is a vampire? I needed to see if I could trust you first.
You're right, of course, Freya. I'm sorry. Trust needs to work both ways. You helped me without being asked, even seeing the armor I wore and knowing what I hunted. I'm sorry. And to you, Cecilia, I know you to be a good person. When we first met, you helped me, and without your help, I would have become food for the vampires. I know of the struggles you face, and for all that you have done, I would be honored to have you by my side. If you would accept my apology for the attack on your character, I only ask one thing: full honesty from those I can trust. I don't want you to hide who you are. You shouldn't conceal yourself around the others. We all need to trust each other.
No apologies needed, Dragonborn. All that is needed is to keep you alive because I'm told you are the only one who can kill these winged bastards. And if I can help in keeping you alive until these dragons are dealt with, I will. And if showing what I really look like requires me to help stop these dragons, then it's a small price to pay for Skyrim not being burned down around us.
Thank you. It means the world to me that you guys can help me. I won't forget it. You will always have my aid if you ever need it.
Thank you for putting aside your hatred for my kind, Dragonborn. This fight won't be easy, but we'll make it through.
Now let's go kill us some dragons.
After our conversation, it was time to head out to the Reach. But I felt a little safer knowing I had the Dark Knight at my back. But I fear she wasn't made to fight fire, and that's where we were heading.
Welcome back to chapter 46. This is the outro. Let me know if you've been here for a long time, or when you started watching my stuff, what chapter was it that brought you in, and if you're one of those people that have been watching since the last gate come out. It's very rare, because it's been over a year, and YouTube, it does sometimes shadow people, as in you don't see their stuff anymore, and you kind of forget about them. Let me know, that'd be kind of cool to know if anyone has been here for a long ride. Now, we kind of get into a quest that people don't actually like, I think. It's the Thelmore sort of spy quest where you get to go into the Thelmore party. I actually always liked it. It's pretty cool. I found out people really don't like it because I think the majority of those people were Stormcloak players, and they found out that the place was still there, and the reasoning for it was, oh, it doesn't matter if you've beaten the Imperials out of Skyrim, you're not going to mess with the Thelmore because they're the big bad. It's like, dude, no fucking way in hell. There's no way in hell. The reason the Thelmore Ambassador is still there is because of Bethesda, and because they released this goddamn shit way too early. That's the only reason. There's no fucking way in hell, in Oblivion, in whatever you want to call it, that place would still be standing. There should have been an alternate quest line where pretty much you go there and the place is burnt down, you find some old information the Thelmore had that leads you to Esbern, but the Thelmore never got to it because, well, they got destroyed by the Stormcloak Rebellion. Well, you know, Stormcloak Rebellion's victory. Their ship was sacked and blah blah blah. I'm not even sure you can... I think you can finish the game before... whatever. But, again, that's a Bethesda thing. I've always played as an Imperial, so I've never had the issue of going there with a big plot hole where Skyrim... I think the base game is Empire's meant to win. Because a lot of the stuff in this game just doesn't make any sense when you've done it, and then... or you've done the Stormcloak playthrough, and then you other things, and that completely breaks, like the Dark Brotherhood, and... of course, the main quest line, they really mess with the Stormcloak victory. It just breaks your immersion. But this one was kind of jumping into the mix of it. She knows she's Dragonborn. She understands what she is. And now she's going to put up with these two Stormcloak and Imperial soldiers that are there to help her. But she kind of needs that help. She had to say goodbye to Serana. She didn't want to risk her life because she had deep feelings for her. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. And she's now got two soldiers following her that are on opposing sides of this conflict. But, you know, for them to play nice together, she's, you know, they think that she's going to pick one of them. Alright, and so they're going to play nice together. That's kind of the little truce going on between them. The reason they're not killing each other is because if you attack him, I'll join the other, blah blah blah. Sort of, it's kind of fear at the moment. So they're playing nice. We get two new characters in this, which is pretty cool. We get to meet Freya, and I didn't really know how to properly add her into this story. I was like, where does she rock up? Does she rock up Cecilia? I was like, nah, come on, she's got to be a main character. She's got to rock up on her own, and maybe even she can get the word at Cecilia the Dragonborn's looking for allies. Because Cecilia, they've actually met before. The very first chapter of Ragni's chapter, they met. I should have just called it Origins, but I call it Origins of the Dragonborn. And if I ever redo the series, I'll definitely change that. Oh my god! Oh, I've been sick the last week, so I'm just a bit tired and worn out. They met before when Ragni was just a newborn adventurer wanting to avenge her family from the vampires that she thought killed her mother and sister. And Cecilia helped her out. And without Cecilia, she would have died. They had met. It's probably been like 6 months. I don't remember how long in the game, to be honest with you, but it's probably been around that. It's been like in real life, I think, 6 months. So it could be 8 to 9 months since they last met. And they've kind of gone on the same journey. You know, Ragni became a Dawnguard hunter to hunt and kill vampires. And the vampires started getting up and becoming quite bad. Cecilia and Zarita and even Freya jumped into that mix, killing vampires in different areas where the Dawnguard weren't. But of course, this shit hits the fan, and they engage the dragon. Now, Freya in the background has sensed this really weird feeling with 3 people, and she's like, "What the fuck? What's going on with these guys?" She's never really met them before. I don't think she's met any of the main characters, or any of the other guild characters, main characters, side characters, whatever, apart from Cecilia. So, oh goddamn, so fucking tired. Why? Snap out of it. Oh my god. And so, when she sees the 3 of them together, man, it's just her head's just gone, like her head's humming. It's like, what the shit? So she's followed them, and she's decided to jump in and help. You know, it'd take a lot of bravery to, you know, to fight against the dragon. And all of a sudden there's this werewolf coming out of nowhere, digging his claws into the dragon. And it's like, holy shit, yeah, righty, I don't give a fuck. If you're not trying to kill me, then you're trying to kill it, then yeah, great, welcome to the party. And that's kind of how we meet Freya. She just comes in because she's been tracking the Dragonborn. She's a bit, you know, she does know the armor she wears, and she does know that the woman that raised her is a vampire, so she's got to be somewhat precautious in this, and it comes down to that in the later chapter where she reveals why she didn't tell Ragni who her mother was, because, well, she kind of wanted her to meet her mother first on, to kind of, you know, see what kind of person Ragni was. Because it's not just Ragni taking into event all these characters. They've got to trust her, or she's got to trust them. Trust does work both ways. You know, Freya is willing to help. And she's got a strong feeling for the Dragonborn, and then of course it's the one person that can save all of civilization. But again, if the Dragonborn's a piece of shit, you know, eventually down the line, you don't want to follow it, especially if it's going to hurt the people that you love. So that's kind of the way she doesn't reveal who her mother is. And obviously it's Skyrim, you don't have a telephone, you don't have an email, so you got to get a courier, or you got to track them down yourself. And that could be an absolute bitch. Oh my god, I've been so tired of my life. But yeah, we get to meet her at the very end of the chapter, and we'll get into a couple more characters, side characters, especially in chapter 47. Now, she kills the dragon, right? This is the first dragon fight between Centaurus and Sigurd, and they get to see the Dragonborn for themselves. You know, they've been sent by their generals to gain the Dragonborn as an ally, because the name Dragonborn is, you know, it's a conquering name. It's from Talos. No, firstly it was a conquering name. It was a name to be emperors, and now it's back to pretty much being a conquering name since the emperors are long gone. And Dragonborns are literally demigods. You know, those who learn the voice are demigods, but Dragonborns, they're an inborn demigod, and when she's max power, man, nothing's going to be able to stop her. Nothing. I mean, like, this will be a god tier character. You know, a few short words and boom, the world is shaking. But it's kind of comes down to that, and with this I've been playing around with trying to have characters talk to each other. You know, like I'm not a quester, I'm not anything like that. I don't know how to do that, and it would drive me up the fucking wall if I tried to learn. And I'm a really big, like, practical learner, so I've got to see it to learn. I can't learn from text, man. Shit makes me angry. So I do what I do. I take a screenshot, a couple of screenshots, change the emotions here and there, and I try to make it like a comic book in a way, where it's like characters talking to each other. But instead of little air bubbles with text inside of them, you hear them talk, and hopefully that will do, because it'll make no goddamn sense having all these personalised characters that I've created for this story in the same room as each other and not being able to talk. it's not going to be as great as I want it to be. Like, I'd imagine if I knew how to do that questing and that scene work and all that sort of stuff, I'd have them yapping off to each other about tens of thousands of different things. I would love to do that. But like I said, I don't know how to. And that's why I haven't. And if I did, man, I'd like release Cecilia as a... She's already a mod, but I'd make her a pretty cool freaking mod where she's like walking around Skyrim, and she'll have my backstory in her story, but it'd be, you know, kind of not like she's... It'd be different because she's in everyone else's game. She'll be a mod. She's not to follow Ragni. She'll follow the actual Dragonborn, yeah, which will be your character. But again, don't know how to do that shit, so fuck that right off. That'll make me balls deep angry. But yeah, hopefully this communication between characters actually works when it comes to just a comic book style. Because I can't do anything else.
Time for their wounds to heal, and hopefully some time to get used to each other.
Now it's one like this because these two characters are some of my favourites. When I started this entire goddamn thing, I had no idea that I'd get so personalised with Sigund. Like, I didn't think she'd have so much goddamn backstory, and she's gone through an absolute shit ton. She's got like at least 3 times more the backstory than Centaurus, my own very character. And I've always just, like, for 2 years in my head this has been cooking, and finally someone else is able to see this, but these two characters sitting down together for their own story throughout the last year of just, you know, killing each other's soldiers, just butchering each other. And now you finally got the Stormblood soldier and the Imperial soldier sitting side by side, and I always imagined how their conversations would go. And this is one that just makes me laugh all the time. Like, I crack up, because here's Sigund, you know, she hates Imperials, because, again, they're her enemy, but they recently just killed her sister a few months ago. That she knows of. And she's sitting down, she's trying to be nice because she's got to get along with him, you know, until the Dragonborn makes her decision on who she will support in the war. And that could be a very long time away, so she's got to at least get along with this goddamn Imperial. And this is kind of how it goes, and it cracks me up every time.
Look at that, they're talking. Hopefully some bonding time.
Nice fighting out there. Good to see some of you Imperials can handle yourselves in a fight. Good to see not all of you are total milk drinkers. If we met on the field of battle, you'd actually be a challenge.
Piss off. Just because we fight together doesn't mean we're friends. You're still a traitor at the end of the day. Leave me be, rebel. I'll only tolerate you when we're with the Dragonborn. Other than that, leave me alone. I don't sit with traitors.
Now, again, I still love the fact that even though she's a very beautiful woman, he doesn't give a shit. He's so Imperial. You know, Centaurus is kind of a very ambitious Imperial, and throughout his time in the war, he was very headstrong. The Empire was absolute victorious, you know. And then at the very end of the winter, he was doubting the Empire could win. And then he was like, "Holy shit, the Stormcloaks could actually beat us," and losing a lot of faith in Skyrim and being quite an arsehole to the Nords. And he's still very much Imperial, you know. Like, he's like, "You're a goddamn traitor. Don't fucking sit beside me. Fuck off." You know, he's a typical sort of Roman background character, when like a Roman politician in a way. They're like, "I don't give a shit, piss off, you're a traitor," and I love that sort of that he's still that way. But you know, in the future chapters, I plan on having time gaps when we get into kind of the Elduin fight, or the last one. There'll be quite some time with the Dragonborn. We'll have to build her power. And we'll see that time take place with these characters, kind of like more time gaps, you know, for a couple months here or a month there and a month over there, especially with DLC and modded DLC sort of content. But I like how he's just like, he's just so ruthless. He's like, "If you're a traitor, you're a traitor. Don't fucking sit beside me. I'll get along with you because I've got to, but don't fucking look at me. I don't give a shit. Fuck off." And I love that attitude that he's got. It's just straight up like, "Fuck you." It's so good. I love it. Now for this Thelmor spy mission, pretty much, you know, this is kind of where Ragni was actually born. I've got to be 100% honest with you. This is where her creation was born, and midway through my playthrough with Centaurus a few years back, I actually created her. I actually made her in the Thelmor Ambassador, because it made no goddamn sense to me as my Imperial Dragonborn that I would slip into the Thelmor's embassy, go behind their backs, kill their personnel, steal their information and free their prisoners. That is an ultimate act of war. And especially by the time that this all happened, my guy was a known soldier. And he was known across the battlefield. That's an ultimate act of war. How the fuck do I come out of this quest line saving the world and I'm still welcome to the Empire. There's no way in hell that the Old Merry Dominion, especially the Thelmor, would then, like, you know, especially knowing that that character or that soldier was now a Dragonborn, would allow him to be in the Empire. You do everything in your possible way to make the Empire dishonour this guy, to get rid of him, or we'll start another goddamn war, even though, you know, it's kind of a double-edged blade, because the Empire's going to need him, man, to finish the war for him, and to be there when the next war starts with the Dominion. But the Dominion's going to pull every goddamn bullshit string they can to bury this guy, to execute him, to have someone kill him or whatever, because he's a major threat to their future operation, especially if this Imperial soldier. And so it just made no goddamn sense that my Imperial character, because I didn't feel right ever coming back to aid the Empire, because there's no fucking way in the world that the Empire would politically allow me to continue my service as an Imperial soldier after committing, you know, acts of war against the Thelmor. So Ragni was actually born, her idea of her was born in the Thelmor prison, that you find the thief and maybe Brelas if you've, you know, if you basically sent her to the Erica thing. But that's where she was born, on this very quest. So with this one, I couldn't go in there, you know, with an Imperial soldier and a Stormcloak because of different things. Political reasons for Centaurus, because you didn't want to fuck around with Thelmor, and Sigun's not going to walk into the Imperial's capital because she'd be filled with arrows. So she's all on her own. The word of the Dragonborn's out there, people know that, and rumours are spreading that she's travelling around with an Imperial soldier and a Stormcloak soldier, and that she's wearing some Vampire Hunter armour. So the whole thing is that's all they know. They don't know, you know, they might know that she's a female Nord, she knows that she's a female, but if she travels on her own, no one's going to know. And her eyes aren't exactly known just yet. Like, one day people will know that her eyes are orange like a dragon's, and that will be how you know it's a Dragonborn. But not just yet, so she can go undercover, and she can get away with things. Then no one's going to know that she's the Dragonborn right now. She's not wearing the Dorgan armor, she hasn't got the Imperial and the Stormcloak with her. So this is kind of how it makes sense of how she gets into the Thelmor embassy unknown. Her eyes, well, you could say there's a half-breed, because in my game I've got half-breeds, and half-breeds have very, like, brighter eyes, especially if they're human. They've got brighter eyes. If like, you got the natural, like, human green eyes, but if it's like a Nord mother and a Wood Elven father, they'll have, like, kind of bright green eyes, kind of like an elven bright eyes, and I like that. But anyway, this is kind of how I sum this one up to how she gets in unknown, and how they don't really judge her eyes, because again, you're not going to see a human walking around with orange, dragonish, firish eyes. That makes no sense. But it could be a half-breed. Who bloody knows? Alan will have an important mark in the future of this story. She will aid, and I do this with quotation fingers right now, the Dragonborn in the future by trying to play somewhat of a good guy when a certain truce comes along, to aid the Dragonborn by giving them troops. And as troops is one of the characters that I mentioned a long time ago about an Inquisitor coming to Skyrim. I haven't really even shown her off yet, but again, there's not many good quests. I don't want to waste like a 10-minute episode on just some elven character. I can show her off when she comes along. But here we are. Now, Erica, absolute piece of shit. Dude's as spineless as they come. I'm surprised he, like, doesn't slinky around the place. But I found out that, like, it was a little bit emptier than it naturally is. It's because I think Maven, at the time, I didn't actually do this, but Maven's, like, she'd be here if the Riften owned the place. And there's certain things, like, it needs more people in it, of course, but they're only there if they're running for the Empire in a political power. So, like, the Falkreath Jarl, he's not here because Falkreath, at the time, is owned by the Stormcloaks. That's just in the game. Well, that sort of stuff. But people really don't like this questline, and I can definitely understand why. Probably because if they're a Stormcloak character and this place is still standing, it's going to be, like, empty. No one's going to fucking be here because all the Jarls aren't going to be here. Maybe, you know, there's a couple like Erica who'll be here, and the East Empire merchant, and the Bard, all that, but no one else is going to be here of importance. It makes no goddamn sense. Massive plot hole in the Skyrim story, but it comes down to Bethesda not spending the time they should have on this. But that's what you get. I think this game came out a couple of years too early. Right here was the birth of Ragni's concept. It was exactly where I'm sitting right now, is where I thought to create her. Because, like, it makes no sense for an Imperial to kill Thelmor personnel, steal their information, and free their prisoners. That is an ultimate act of sabotage. It made no sense in my mind to ever be able to return back to the Empire. It just breaks the role, big time. is because in that game I was still actively fighting in the Civil War. It had not yet been completed, and I don't know how you'd even imagine, like, the Empire would have to, like, hide you, but also outlaw you at the same time. This one, she had Jarl Ravenclaw help her out, because in the very first chapter, she helped Jarl Ravenclaw by outing Elva as a mortal vampire, and killing the clan of vampires that tried to take over the town. So she was able to recognise her and help her with the distraction, and she was able to get down and put some clothes on, walk past the Thelmore. She's a little bit shorter than the elves, of course, but, you know, in a dark room, maybe get away with it. The doorway, I don't know how the hell that would have worked. Maybe it was also dark there, but whatever. Yeah, it's a game, and trying to tell a story through a very sandbox video game, that can be a pain in the ass, because you want things to go to plan, but Skyrim in its very nature is sandbox, and that, it never goes to plan. It's like trying to guess the future. It's just fucking good luck. Just take it how it goes, you know? Take the beatings, and when it gives you a break, heal. Pretty much how this entire chapter series goes. Now, this is actually where I wanted Cecilia and Freya to meet. You know, they'd gotten information, they then kind of knew where she was going to come out, and this is where they're waiting for it. But it also didn't make much sense how they would know that. But also, the game was playing up. Zarita, I spawned Zarita with Cecilia, and she was trying to kill Cecilia for some fucking reason. It was weird. They just kept battling each other. And this about Ulfric's dossier, like, I'm still unaware. Like, was he like a contact? Like, did they let him out to go back to Skyrim to work for him? And then eventually he's like, I'm back home now. Fuck you. I'm not helping you. And started his own rebellion. This seems like the sort of thing that Ulfric would do. He seems very ambitious, but also very conniving. Like, yeah, they're gonna let me out if I work for him. Fuck yeah, I'll take that opportunity. And as soon as he's back to Skyrim, he cuts the fucking ties. Says, get fucked. Go fuck yourself. And I guess it's a smart move to get out of trouble, you know, if the opportunity's there. But it's also information that, if got out to the Imperials, would prove to be a, you know, Thelmore spy. Even if he wasn't, every Nord in their, you know, in their Talos-breathing brain is going to be like, you're a milk drinker, you're a traitor, fuck you, Ulfric, and it'd crumble his entire rebellion. But at the current time, he's fighting the Imperials, distracting them from the Old Merry Dominion and wicking them. So they're like, yeah, we'll allow it to happen. It's okay. Why not? So it's kind of a very, like, if that, like, also made no sense, especially if you're an Imperial character, why you couldn't hand that into Tullius, you know, and sort some sort of peace truce out of, I don't know, like, but it just makes no goddamn sense. They probably should have that book with that information out of the game, because it makes no sense how you cannot use that to slow down the war, or to stop the war, or do something in that sort of matter, because it's like such horrific information that could really damage Ulfric and really help the Empire out. But again, Bethesda released this game way too early. Now we get to meet another character. Finally, we get to actually meet a guild character. This is the reason why I did all these guild characters. It wasn't just some boring Thieves Guild story. All these characters have their own mark in life. And they've got all their own stories, their own paths to walk. But eventually, all their paths will, you know, cross into the one path and follow each other. And this is where it comes into play. This is what I've always thought about over the last 2 years of having this story cook in my head. Is now it's finally time for all those footprints to kind of merge into the one lane and follow. And this is one of them. Topher, sitting over in the corner right there, is overhearing what's going on. And she's a bit confused because the Thelmore here, you know, asking questions. And now this Dawnguard hunter, because they know the Dawnguard because they live nearby and they do come down to drink sometimes and work for the, you know, for the people. And behind her there's an Imperial and a Stormcloak, and the rumours are getting around of this Dragonborn. And she's like, what the fuck, man? I've got the Thelmore in here asking questions, and I've got the Dragonborn, both civil war soldiers from different sides. This shit is whack. And I've always imagined how I would put her into the story, because it's not very beneficial revealing yourself as, hey, by the way, I work for the Thieves Guild, I want to help you. First of all, why would they want to help you? Makes no fucking sense. And second of all, you've just revealed yourself as a Thieves Guild member. And beside that Dragonborn, you've got 2 members of each side of the Civil War. Either one of them's going to win. And they could be a very, you know, proud person and not like criminals. And might, you know, after the war's done, come after your ass and put all your shit down. You don't want that. So how I put in the game was what I actually thought was kind of special, and I've always loved the idea of it, and now you guys have finally been able to see. The idea's been cooking in my head for 2 years, and see how it came out, and I hope you guys liked it. I've always wanted her to kind of be in the shadows, you know, that right in front of us right now. She's right there. I don't know if you can see her, but I can't see her at all. And I thought it'd be like a whole entire Batman thing, like you can't see her. You know, she's one with the stealth. You know, she's actually no, you could kind of see her there, which is kind of cool. But standing still, you won't notice her. Let's see. When you turn your head, yeah, right there, you can kind of see a glowing eye, and the shape of someone standing there. And I had her standing there in the entire scene, as I wanted her to kind of be in the darkness where you wouldn't spot her. And this is how she reveals herself, as the Nightingale. Because at the end of the day, she doesn't want to reveal her identity. It's a major risk to her operation, and this sort of stuff. And plus, having someone that can sneak up on the Dragonborn and a team of soldiers, that's some crazy shit, alright? So, again, she joins the team, not because she wants to help the Dragonborn. I'm not too sure she gives a shit. I mean, under here she could be safe from dragons. But at the end of the day, she's a very smart person, Topher. She's always been one for tactics, one for making money the smart way, not the silly, simple way. Now, the reason she ups the Dragonborn is because the Dragonborn is the one person that can permanently kill dragons, and the one thing that, you know, stops them from coming back. And she doesn't know they're being revived by another dragon, but if the Dragonborn can kill these dragons, she might have to help out, because dragons aren't good for business. She can't make money if Skyrim's on fire. So, from a pure business prospect, this is the reason she joins the team. Not because she wants to save the world or help the people, because quite simply, dragons will stop her making gold. And again, it's a complete business pact. Topher is only here to help, and when she feels the Dragonborn doesn't need her anymore, she will vanish, and sort of thing. That's her mandate, if she survives. But this is kind of why she joins on. And she'll keep her identity secret, because again, it's too risky for everyone else to know. Dragonborn doesn't like that because she wants her team to be full of trust. So she'll kind of exclude the Nightingale out of her briefings or anything that's important, because she doesn't trust her, because she won't trust them with her identity. So she kind of becomes a background character in the team, because Dragonborn can't completely trust her. It's only because she won't trust them. And obviously it's for good reason, because you don't want any of them knowing your identity or who you are. Because it comes a risk to you once the Civil War, if the dragons are dealt with and the Civil War's dealt with, you don't want the leader or one of the best soldiers on the winning team to know who you are and what you do, especially if you're a criminal. I also forget, as a Skyrim player, that I've done this so many goddamn times, right? I play 100 times, who fucking knows, most likely. And that you come in and you know where Esbern is, you go straight to him. But as someone that's playing a story for a character that's been here for the first time, you gotta look around, because maybe you don't know where Esbern is. You know, you gotta walk around, alright, well that's an old guy, is that Esbern? And you get close to him, you realise he's an Imperial. But, you know, and then you listen to him, and he turns out to be a Great War veteran from the Great War with the Elves 30 years back, that he was in the Imperial city when it fell, or when they took it, most likely when it fell. And again, it was a pretty cool time to have the gang, when you walk around and talk, because everyone here is somewhat batshit crazy. This guy's lost his mind due to the war, and it kind of sounds like he's talking to Shira Gorath in a certain way. The deaf chick is kind of batshit crazy. She lives in a dark room and talks about a bucket, a knife, and this sort of stuff. And another one upstairs is a goddamn cannibal, but he kept acting weird, so I could kill him before this series. And then eventually you find a locked door that looks like it could hold Skyrim's gold deposit, and that's Esbern. So we had to look around, and obviously I'm not going to open the door up on a locked door when hearing a woman in there, because Esbern is not a woman. It's described as a 70-year-old mauled man, so there's no point wasting time. And what happened to her actually was fucking funny, because she unlocks her own door, she runs towards the Thelmore, and they gut her. I was like, oh shit, dude, that is rough. And I actually had no idea, but the Imperial, the guy who suffered from the Great War, he'll freak out, because he's like, what are you doing here? I've already killed you! Like, he freaks out because he sees the old Merry Dominion again, the first time in 30 years, and he's losing his shit, because they're back, they're right beside his home. So I didn't actually know that. I'm not too sure that they're meant to actually be aggressive to the lunatics in this place, but I think I made, because they weren't attacking me, I had to make them, their aggression, I think like actually aggressive, so they'd attack anybody that isn't in their faction, a bit like bandits. So they grabbed aggro to everybody. They killed the poor deaf chick, and they were going to kill him, but didn't happen because I'm a goddamn hero, man. I'm not going to let that poor veteran die. That's some bullshit from Thelmore. Bunch of cruel, knife-eared pricks. Now I got to remember to keep these conversations going between the characters, because Freya's off there being friendly with the female wench because she's into the girls, but Sigund and Centaurus are kind of like her inner council, and they don't want this chick around. She gives them the spooks, but you know, if you're still in this outro, welcome. This shit can take some time. But they've actually met Centaurus and the Nightingale, and they met kind of in the introduction of the Thieves Guild character. I don't want to go back and... Well, I'll go back and I'll show you, because I like doing this sort of shit where I show you where these characters meet. Like I did Sigund and Centaurus in the last one. Now this is where we first meet Topher, in her introduction, right? So... this is kind of where she meets Centaurus. At this time, this is long before Centaurus is sent to Whiterun. And he's just an Imperial soldier guarding the prisons. You know, he's a dude that takes Elva, I forget his name, takes the dude to the execution in front of, you know, the city. And he's made friends with a certain woman that because she's kind of being touched up, molested and stuff like that, you know, because again, let's face it, at the end of the day, enemy soldiers are going to touch it, and no doubt happens in Russia and Ukraine with female soldiers, so don't fucking think it's not, because it 100% is. The cameras are off and the guards are all on the same page. It's fucking happened. He didn't, because I didn't want my character to be a rapist. Secondly, it's because of their sort of... what is it called? I keep forgetting what it's called. It's like their Dragonborn unity sort of a feeling they get. These characters, everyone that is to join the Dragonborn on their future journey, has some sort of weird feeling about each other. Like they can trust you, like they know each other. And it doesn't matter if they don't even know who they are, but they still feel it. They still know it. It's kind of maybe the reason why Cecilia picked up Freya when she was a 10-year-old girl. She had a weird feeling about her. But he had this weird feeling with this prisoner, and he looked after her. He didn't, you know, he gave her food, and talked to her because he had a strange feeling about her, as she had a strange feeling about him. And again, these strange feelings have led them into the inn inside of the Bee and Barb in Riften, where he's an Imperial Vanguard and she's the Nightingale. So now they've got the Nightingale, yeah, and I like that because it kind of is a bit more legend to the team, you know, especially when they become a bit more known. You've got the Imperial Soldier, the Stormcloak, the Werewolf, the Vampire, well, not exactly yet, but you've got the Nightingale. It's like no one knows who she is. She's a member of the Dragonborn's team, out there killing dragons, saving the world, you know. Nightingales aren't heroes. They're not. They're not designed to be heroes, but this one will be marked as a hero. You know, they don't know that she's only there to stop the dragons to keep making money, but she's this cool legendary character where everyone in the team is known. Everyone, you know, their stories, their past to be described in future stories throughout generations of Skyrim and stuff like that. But the Nightingale, it's going to remain a character like known to unknown. You know, there's going to be nothing known about who the Nightingale was. It's just some shape, some cape, you know, some archer. They won't know her name, who she was, her story, anything like that, which to me sounds so cool, having this mysterious character in the background where everyone else is so known, but she is not. Which kind of creates distrust amongst her and her colleagues, you know, the Dragonborn's team and the Dragonborn. I'd say early on, but hopefully throughout the time together, that they might just learn to trust the Nightingale as is. But I want to get to one more thing before we end the outro. And this is a big banger for me because I really like this one. I actually decided to change the music in this because I wanted this conversation to be deep. And it's another thing the Dragonborn comes to learn is that, yeah, trust isn't just one side. Like, it's not just I have to trust you. You also have to trust me. Now, Ragni's first story, like I told you, she meets a certain woman in black armor that helps her kill the vampire she believed killed her family when she was a young girl. That was the Dark Knight. Now, over time, Ragni's come to learn who the Dark Knight was because she joins the Dawn Guard, who wants vengeance for Stendar. And when she described basically how she killed vampires, they told her the woman that she was with wasn't actually a woman. that she was actually a vampire. Well, she was a woman, of course, but she had no idea until, of course, she joined the Dawn Guard and was told that the woman she was with that helped her was actually a 200-year-old vampire. And she knows that now when they meet again for the second time. She knows exactly what she is, and, you know, Freya's not too happy about the way she's talking about it, you know, the woman that raised her. And Cecilia, they kind of knew what was going to happen. They kind of had a good feeling that, you know, Ragni was going to know exactly what Cecilia was. And we're suspecting some hostilities, but Freya's kind of hot-headed, and she's like, you hurt my mum now, and take your fucking head off. I don't care who you are, Dragonborn or not. And this comes to a point to where Freya's like, you didn't tell me who your mother was, how can I trust you, blah blah blah. And then, Ragni. And Freya basically tells her, excuse me, but you're wearing that armor that kills, you know, you're wearing the armor of people that hunt and kill vampires. You think I'm just going to go up and tell you when I don't even know you that my mother's a vampire so you can go and hunt and kill her? Yeah, I helped you because I thought it was the right thing to do. And then kind of Ragni realizes she's right. She did help me without being asked. She came and aided us. And she knows over time, she's, you know, with her time with Cecilia, with the time with Serana and her time becoming a vampire, she kind of understands a lot more about Cecilia, that she showed no signs of hostility towards her whatsoever, and she helped her and saved her life from a silly choice of chasing vampires. She truly did save her life. Which also comes down to, you know, she's been a vampire, so she knows the hunger that Cecilia goes through, and she respects her for what she does by hunting down bad people and bad things, and still able to remain your human being, still able to be that person she was before she became a vampire. So she has massive respect, but it was just kind of the anger from not being told by Freya, which flared her up, or the whole like, you didn't tell me who you were last time. It's just the sort of short things like, yeah, you helped me out last time, but you didn't tell me what you were. So it's kind of that little bit of anger from Ragni. She's still young, and she was still kind of a bit pissed off that, you know, the woman that helped her was actually a goddamn vampire, and she's a bit pissed off that Freya didn't tell her, and this and that. But she was kind of humbled, and realised that she was in the wrong, and that, you know, Cecilia's not a bad person, not at all. She's one of the good vampires, one of the ones that she's going to like having in her team, but she's going to face the same thing that Serana did, and that's the weakness to fire. But, you know, Cecilia's ready for this shit, mate. She doesn't go out there half ready. Her armor will be enchanted for fire resistance. Not really magical resistance, but when a dragon comes down breathing fire, mate, that armor is keeping her safely nestled and cold inside. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this chapter. I don't know if it really will. It's kind of one of those like oof chapters. Goes on to something better of chapter 47. But all the same, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and let me know if you've been here since the start, if you guys enjoy this sort of stuff, and if you've taken any of my characters or the ideas from them into your own stories. That'd be pretty cool to hear. Because at the end of the day, I don't do these for views. I do these to inspire, and hopefully people that really enjoy storytelling. That's what kind of does it for me when it comes down to all these stories. It's sharing and inspiring. And to find more of those people, leave a like and a comment, because it helps the algorithm out, and it'll find more people that enjoy this sort of storytelling stuff, or want to learn more, want to add more to their own games. Anyway, I will finally get out of here, and yeah, look after yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter.